So in this video, we're going to talk about all the different checks that we need to be doing for our needles. The very first one is our needles come up into our bell chamber. This is our bottom sawtooth hay dog. You can see that the tip of our needle is flush with the bottom of our sawtooth hay dog. Now, we've got to remember when we take this measurement that we're going off of the outside, either the left or the right hand knife, because it's recessed back farther. So that's where we're taking our measurement. So we're going to take our tape measure, we're going to put it up here on our needle, and you can see on this particular one we're running about from the roller to the knife right here, we're running about 2 inches. In the book it says 3/4 of an inch to 3 inches is where we want to be, and so we never go to the 3/4 when we're around the 2-inch spot. That's where we want to be. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to roll our needles up more. You can see as the needles have come up here that our needle right here is rubbing on the right hand side of our frame. That is very important that we get that needle rubbing good on the side here. If it's not, then we'll need to come in here and bend our needles over to the right so that there's good rub. Now we're going to come from outside the bell chamber and go up on top of the knotters. So now that we're up on top of the baler, I have raised the knotter for clarity purposes. So you can see that the needle, it is rubbing on the right hand side of the frame right here. Right here, this is our tucker arm roller. We want our tucker arm to be in line with the center of this roller right here. You can see we're to the right a little bit, so we're just going to come right in here. We can take our pry bar and bend it over, and we've aligned it up a little bit better. So center of the edge of the right hand roller in the center of our needle roller. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to raise it up a little bit. Now you're going to want to do that measurement on about the first 3 inches of the needle, because as you come up, the needle is going to flare out, and you can see that it shifts your needle over a little bit. Now the next measurement that we're going to be doing as we come up here is our twine finger measurement right here. Now you can see in this particular one that twine finger is a long ways away. We want this twine finger to be up against here about 1/16 of an inch. So to get that, we loosen these 2 bolts up, and we would push this whole plate forward to get that measurement right there. Now the next measurement that we're going to do is we're going to raise this up. And we're going to go all the way until our needles are on top dead center right here. So now that we've got our needles all the way up here to top dead center, we're going to come and we're going to take our ruler. We're going to be measuring to the right here to the second roller. We're going to come up here, and you can see on this particular baler we're about 95 millimeters. We want to be between 120 and 130 millimeters from our twine disc to right here. If we go over here to our connecting rod right here, you can see that this connecting rod is bent. And so instead of it being nice and straight and this centered up here with our grease zerk, it's bent, and so it's pulling those needles back down instead of pushing them up where they need to be. You can see that nut right down there in that turnbuckle. That's what you would loosen up and turn to increase or decrease your penetration on your needles. Now the next thing we're going to do is we'll come back over here and we're going to run our needles. While we've got these needles up here, I do want to talk just a minute about our rollers. See how this hardware is poking through? It's really good part of your yearly maintenance to come in here and check your rollers, make sure that they're not wore out. See how they're loose like that? That needs to be replaced. We've got the same thing happening over here on this one. It's important that when we put this hardware together that we put a drop of blue Loctite on the threads. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to run this down. So what we're looking for right here is that we want this roller, we want there to be a gap between this cleaner and this roller by about a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch. You can see that we're a little close right here. You can see this one right over here, how that's about the gap that you're looking for on here. So those are the checks that we're looking for when we run our needles up. So our needle to our plunger, our tucker arm, our twine fingers, our penetration, and then our gap right here on our needle height. Now let's say we need to go ahead and adjust this up. So when we were up on top of the baler, you notice that we needed to adjust our needle height up. So in order to do that, we crawled down underneath here, and this is our bottom side of our needles. So we're going to undo our jam nuts right here. Now, if you want to raise the needle up, you're going to tighten these two bolts. If you want to lower the needle, you're going to tighten these two bolts right here. Now, sometimes you're going to have to, like if you want to raise it, you're going to have to loosen these up a little bit in order to be able to tighten this to get your adjustment where you want it to be.